Yo, what's good? It's your boy Corrupt. Your boy Corrupt. Why do I sound like an old man trying to relate to children? Like, I hate this intro. Anyway, so today's video is about. You know what? I'm just gonna let you see what today's video is about because if I explained it to you, it wouldn't be half as good as you seeing it. So, let's go.
Hi, I'm Janelle, and haters will say this is fake. But after I gave birth, I agreed to start providing milk for my husband as well as our baby.
Is this a thing, married people? When you have kids, do you just turn your wife into a water fountain and both of you just have a drink? You know, like, it's so strange to me that this is something he was like, hey, you know what I want to do? I want to have my wife give me her boob milk because that sounds like a great idea. It won't at all, like, traumatize my child. Can you imagine like you're a kid and you wake up one day and just see your dad just curled up on your mom's lap just taking a drink like it's a soda pop or something? A soda pop? Like it's a soda or something? I have no words.
Apparently, the boss had helped himself to Jarvis's stash in the work fridge. I said it was my wife's milk, and, well, he just called me a soy boy and told me to make sure I kept the fridge stocked.
What are these internetisms, soy boy? Like I just can't imagine another grown man out in the wild being like, "You drink milk. What are you, some kind of soy boy or something?" I don't know. It just sounds so weird to me. It's like those videos on like Twitter or TikTok you see sometimes, and it's like some blue haired land whale like freaking out because some guy said she instead of he, and then like it's just like some colossal meltdown, and it just seems so unreal, but you know it's real. It's like one of those things where it rarely happens, or it seems like it's something that should never happen, but it does, and when you see it, it's just like, what? That's how I feel about Soy Boy. Like, I just can't see someone in just the real world, as it were, saying Soy Boy, but I guess maybe statistically speaking, it would have to happen, you know? Like, I mean, I've referred to someone as a soiling before, so clearly it does happen.
Early one morning, we were woken by the sound of a rock hitting our bedroom window.
You know, this bitch's titty milk out here got niggas committing crimes. I mean, I'm sure her breast milk is delicious or whatever. Well, there's a sentence I never wanted to say, is or whatever. But it's probably not worth like harassing someone at their house.
And found three of Jarvis's coworkers standing out on the front lawn. Apparently, they were hooked and wanted to get it directly from the supplier to avoid missing out.
What's going on? Can you imagine like you're asleep and in the morning you wake up to the sound of like rocks being thrown at your window and a bunch of weird dudes just like hanging out on your lawn being like, "Hey Oma, what that titty do?"
Since then, there hasn't been a morning when I haven't woken up to a line of thirsty boys at the door, desperate for fresh milk. Jarvis doesn't seem to see a problem with it.
That ended rather anticlimactically, but don't leave, not yet, because I got another reaction for you.
On my 10th birthday, she asked me if I wanted to stop doing it. I was shocked and started crying because I loved drinking my mom's milk. It tastes much better than cow milk because even though it starts off a bit watery, after a few seconds it gets really creamy. Yum!
Stop it. Get some help.
One story about breastfeeding to another, like, you know what's funny? These types of like, I'm 26 and I still breastfeed. Like, these stories are actually semi popular. There's like quite a few of them. So it's kind of weird when you're searching for things to react to and you run into like several copies of the same story with the same theme. It's so bizarre. But then it wouldn't be the internet if it wasn't, would it?
That's why I told her I would never stop drinking her milk, And to this day, every morning and every evening, my mom comes into my room to breastfeed me.
Imagine being the voice actor for this. Basically being told, okay, so this is what you're playing. You're going to be a 16-year-old boy who is still breastfed by his fat mom. Like, what? And your reaction, it's just like, LOL, what? And at that point, you just gotta think, I can never let anyone know who I am after I do this.
I mean, what's wrong about being breastfed as a teenager? It tastes amazing. There are lots of health benefits, and I have a really close relationship with my mom because of it.
You know what's funny about this segment right here, where he's like got like a little chalkboard and he's outlining the pros of drinking your mama's milk, is like the last video that was a sequel to the one I did last year also had a similar sort of thing. So it's like this pro breastfeeding propaganda.
The only thing I wish is that my mom was less overprotective and less involved in my life. I often feel like I'm living in a bubble, like she won't let me play soccer with my classmates because she is worried about me being injured. And when I meet up with friends at a mall, she wears a wig and follows us wherever we go.
I don't know if gnawing on her boob is what caused her to be so overly protective of you. I imagine it's a lot of things, but if she's like forbidding you from playing soccer or having normal relationships with your friend, then I can see that as a problem. Still, you're a weird little freak, but I mean, at least you're a somewhat sympathetic little freak, or a little freak I can sympathize with, I should say.
And if I should ever get a girlfriend, my mom would probably go crazy and try to destroy our relationship, because I don't think she could handle sharing her son with another woman.
I have an observation and a question. One, why did the artist feel the need to use a picture of handsome Squidward? That just seems, but it's just kind of distracting. The other is, like, if your mom does, it always strikes me weird when you have, like, older people who don't have like many friends. I mean, I guess there are like reasons for that. Like some people just don't make friends that easily, but like it just seems like she's substituting a friendship with her kid, and that's just really weird. Like, lady, you need therapy.
Her style of parenting already made me become the weird kid in school, because whenever something happens that I don't like, I just start crying or screaming. I know it's immature, but I can't help it. My emotions just take over. Like one time a classmate of mine took a potato from my plate and ate it. He knew I would get upset about it, but he probably didn't expect what I did next. I got so mad that I threw the rest of my plate into his face, and then I started screaming as loud as I could in the middle of our cafeteria.
Imagine if people just did stuff like that in real life that they see on these My Animated Story channels, you know? Can you imagine someone's at a restaurant and then the waiter comes up and asks them a question, and for whatever reason they freak out and start screaming and then just throw the plate in the waiter's face and just start screeching at the top of their lungs? Like, that person, I would think, is probably unhinged. Like, that would be the most crazy fucking shit. Just somebody who's just completely, like, lost their fucking mind. And you see this a lot on these My Story animated channels, where people do the same weird, crazy stuff that, like, you just can't believe they do in real life. Which is why I love reacting to these stories, because they're just so insane and over the top. I don't know. I feel like there are people who've been homeschooled who, in your situation, wouldn't freak out like a lunatic and start screaming at the top of their lungs. I don't know. Because, like, being properly socialized, yeah, you need to be around other kids your age. But you can learn how to socialize even if you're not around a lot of those children. Look at introverts and stuff like that. Like, a lot of introverts don't really like talking to a lot of people, and a lot of introverts know how to socialize and not react to situations like a nut job, you know? So it might just be you. Anyway, that's enough of this video because it is running long, and it's going to be longer when I actually splice all the clips together to make it look neat, you know? So, Bye-bye. Remember to like and subscribe and do all of that other stuff so I can get some traction on the channel. Later!